Hi, family community. How are we doing today? You know, from time to time, I like to twist it and turn it and put this in here and put this in there. Well, this is one of these days. Seeing that my husband and I, are celebrating, getting ready to celebrate our 11th and wedding anniversary, we just wanted to give a little history of how we met and probably put some things in between. So, without further ado, I'm Andrea, and this is my husband.
Mark, nice to be here.
Nice to have you here.
Ames Lounge.
So, yes, on Ames Lounge. So, we're here to share a little bit about our personal side. Um, Tend to be seeing a lot of people giving up on love and just diving in without a thought and diving in wrong angles and not coming straight. So we just wanted to share our story and hopefully inspire some, hopefully just share the love, right? We want everyone to find love and genuine love, real love, unconditional type of love like what God gives us, that real love. So we're going to share some of what we have been through, what we experienced as we fell in love. So we met online.
We did.
Where
Almost
did we-
13 years ago. So we met on an online dating website. And we do know that dating advice could be really tricky because it is individual. So what works for one person may not work for another. And we see that dating online in particular could be a controversial topic because some have great experiences, like myself and Andrea, and others not so much. There's a lot of controversy surrounding that. And I've noticed in the last couple of years, I see a lot of negative stories about online dating. Um, I remember when it first started, there was a lot of hesitation about it, and then it seemed like almost everybody was meeting online. And now it seems that once again there is a negative view towards online dating. We're seeing stories about people having some nightmare experiences, some people getting hurt, from online dating. We see that some people are leaning more towards dating in person, doing type of in-person speed dating and other type of events. But online is where we met, and it did work for us.
And a lot of people tend to say, it comes from the depths of the phrase itself, online dating, but we tend to think that it should not be you dating online, but trying to get to know someone for a brief time online before you take it to in person or on the phone first and then like we did and then in person. I wouldn't say date and then, oh, I'm getting married to this person from another state or from another county or from another country and you've only known each other online. I say get to know each other the old fashioned way and not only date online as the phrase online dating suggests. We did meet on OkCupid, and when we did go, I remember it was set up with a whole bunch of questions where the other person would answer the questions and you answer the questions, and then you see how compatible you are, if this is a person you'll be interested in at least, sharing a conversation with. You're not saying, "Oh my goodness, that's my husband," or "Oh my goodness, I want to date him." It's more like, let's see if we are compatible enough to share a conversation and then see where it takes us, right? Right? Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. And to me, that was the advantage to meeting online is the opportunity and just having the experience of getting to know somebody more before you actually do meet. And because of that, I found that it's necessary and beneficial really to have that approach. I have seen profiles, you see it on some of the relationship podcasts where you'll see someone have a negative approach to how they set up a profile. Like they will focus on what they don't want and who they don't want to contact them. And negativity attracts more negativity. So I remember it again. It's been a long time, so it's been like again nearly 13 years from the time that we met and started dating. But I do remember how I set my profile up was not talking about what I did not want, but more talking about who I am, the type of man that I am, what I have to offer, and looking for someone that can appreciate who I am as a man. And I remember not the specifics, so I have to apologize to my wife. I don't remember word for word everything she
If
said
it
on
makes
her
you feel
profile.
better, I don't remember word for word either.
But she had the similar approach. So she was not like, "Oh, don't contact me if you aren't this tall or make this amount." She also talked about the type of woman that she is. So I find that if you approach it like that, if you share who you are, have a more positive approach, positive perspective, you will get that reciprocated. And that's kind of how we, met. We were attracted to what each other had to say. Also, I thought my wife was pretty cute, so that didn't hurt. But more than that, I was attracted to what she said, and we spent, I want to say, about 3 or 4 weeks exchanging, messages back and forth, then finally calling each other on the phone before we actually met in person. So when we finally got to meet, it didn't feel like I was meeting a stranger. It felt like it was someone that I already knew and wanted to get to know better.
And of course, I waited for him to feel comfortable, just as comfortable as I felt, to go out in person and for him to ask me out first. Just like the old fashioned way, I am the old fashioned type in certain things where I feel the gentleman should be the one to ask you out. And you keep certain things undercover because you want him to slowly unpack and get that revelation of who you are. I'm sorry, apologies with my phone. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so I really feel like you don't unravel everything at once, so it gives you time to slowly get to know each other. And don't be in a rush to into that person's home and you don't know them, but you go slow. And that's as Mark pointed out, we went slowly. We learned each other for 3-4 weeks online about our do's, our don'ts, or who we are. And then we went onto the phone. We would spend hours. I remember I used to talk, and we used to talk to like almost 12 or so. And then he let me know. He said, this isn't going to be happening for too long because I'm a
I'm not a night person.
early to bed person. So I said, okay. But it went on as long as I guess it was meant to. And then he asked me out, right?
Yeah, I did. If I remember correctly, we went out on a Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
On a Wednesday night.
I don't even remember that.
I do remember that. So the first date. So again, when we did finally meet in person, we already knew a lot about each other. We had phone conversations. I remember Andrea was saying that she was surprised by how deep my voice is. My voice was deeper than she thought it was going to be. I don't know why she thought I was going to have a high voice or something like that. But it was deeper than she thought it was going to be. So, when we did finally meet, it did feel like we knew each other. It wasn't an awkward meeting. Again, we were just looking forward to finding out even more about each other, and whether or not whether or not this is something we wanted to pursue. So I do remember I came from work, so I had a suit on. I purposefully dressed as a suit. I dress semi-professional for work anyway, but I did have a suit on, a gray suit, and a blue shirt, if memory serves correct. And I bought a big bouquet of flowers.
Huge.
So we met in, you want to say where? Well, I should say the city, Brooklyn. So we met in Brooklyn, and outside of a mall. And I was waiting in the street. She was a little late.
I did call. It's nice to call and let him know that he's not being stood up.
Yeah, so she was a little late. So I stood out there waiting and had everybody looking at me. A couple of women made comments. Oh, got flowers. That's so nice. And then she finally came from across the street, and I gave her my flowers. But what surprised me about my wife, my future wife, is that she had a gift for me as well. So she had a bag of treats from Barbados and St. Vincent, and she gave that to me. So that really blew me away that she had something for me. I never had a woman give me a gift on a first date, so I was really impressed with that. It also was another aspect of our relationship and part of the conversations that we had leading up to this first meeting. We're from two different cultures. So I am African American, Black American, whichever you prefer. It doesn't make a personal difference to me. I identify as both. And my wife is from
Barbados, the island of Barbados.
This I know she has spoken about before on the channel. So from different cultures. So we also talked a little bit about what that was like. But this was my first time meeting her, and she kind of was letting me know from the beginning about little aspects of her culture, and let me know that that was an important part of who she was, her identity, and what I needed to be aware of meeting her and potentially being in a relationship with her. And we were not at the relationship stage first. This was still at that time just getting to know each other.
And I must say that even though it wasn't an interview and I was not wholesomely official about it, I went about this relationship so much different, because as they say, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, it's madness, it's crazy. So I kind of went about this different than I treated other relationships, and one of the ways was treating it like an interview, almost like an interview. Ask a lot of questions, not all at once, but I did ask a lot of questions, some of which I knew the answer to, and I did some research myself. So all of that went into beginning to meet someone in person for the first time, because you don't want to be caught off guard. You don't want to date a serial killer. So put a little effort into doing some research yourself.
Yeah.
And he mentioned I bought a few goodies. He didn't say that I bought this little key ring that was a boxing glove, and I didn't even know yet. I don't think he had mentioned that one of his hobbies or one of his favorite sports was boxing indeed. So I was like, wow, when I found this out, I was like, wow, this is some confirmation here. I'm going in the right direction. So yeah. I'm
Yeah.
glad he enjoyed that part of it.
And what she's alluding to is that I think she Googled me, did a background check on me to make sure that I was not a serial killer or anything like that. And, of course, I wasn't aware of that. But, when I found out about it, I wasn't mad about it either because, online dating, there are some risks to it. Though we have been advocates of it just because of how we met. Also, the reality is that you do have to do your due diligence. I also would recommend doing that with somebody you meet in person as well. So, part of getting to know each other is asking those hard questions. And, I would say one of the tests of, whether or not you could trust this person is how honest they are and how open they are when you ask questions about who they are, because ultimately this is about your safety, and you have every right to make sure that you are safe. So,
and if he has a problem answering it, and if he said, "Why you asking me that?" or giving you attitude, or the expression tells you, he or she gives you that expression like, "Don't ask me. Why you asking me that?" Red flag. Get to running. Would you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're getting to know each other, and there are questions you're going to have. And if you can't start with honesty and put your cards out on the table, honestly, why waste each other's time, right? Why waste each other's time? Either you like it or you don't. And if you don't, less time wasted. Move on, right?
True.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, our first date was successful. Wound up walking Andrea home, and we enjoyed it so much that I actually asked her out 2 days later for us to go out again. So I never did that before. Never really wanted to see anyone that soon after meeting, even in dates in the past that went well. All right, so as I was saying, that we enjoyed the first date so much that I asked to see her again. We met again 2 days after that. So I remember we went to church. Andrea took me to her church, and then we went to a soul food restaurant right after that. And so, again, we continued to talk, learn each other more, continue to see each other more. And, of course, long story short, we have been married for 11 years.
Yep, 11 years and known each other for close to 13. Yeah. So we just wanted to share part now because, as he said, the rest is in between, is a long story. So if you want to hear more from us and, sharing discussions pertaining to dating and moving up towards marriage, if you want to be in the discussion, ask questions, or share your opinions or your comments, we're by far definitely no counselors or anything like that, but we could definitely talk and converse about the topic. So if you want to hear more, please let us know. Comment, share, so that we can carry on some more personal experiences.
Yeah, like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. You got it, Mark. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. So take care. Until next time, have a great day. Any parting words, Mark?
Well, just thanks for watching. We hope that you enjoyed the conversation so far, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Yes, we do. So don't forget to share. Bye now.